What's up, guys? Chef Night here, and I'm back with another one. It's been a couple weeks since I've uploaded. Life's been crazy, man. Crazy. A lot's been going on over here in California. Just trying to really survive. Just, stick and move. Do what I can to make it through, man. This is, it's definitely been an interesting time, Like, I'm sitting here, I'm homeless, which isn't all bad. I want to talk a little bit about, like, the advantages I've been seeing since becoming homeless in the past year. So, like, no, it's been 8 months. But anyways, I ended up being employee of the month. Oh, it's backwards, but anyways. I ended up getting employee of the month for August. So that just got sent to me. So that makes me feel good, Employee of the month. But of course, like anything else, it doesn't come with any more money. Just a pat on the back. Good job, slave. Good job. But I am grateful. I'm grateful that I can pull in a paycheck and even somewhat live. And that's something I kind of want to talk about is, as far as employment's going, from my research, I don't know if this is completely correct, but the wages all across America are different, but they just seem to be higher in California. So if you're homeless and working in California, there's actually an advantage to that I'm starting to see. It's easy to say, okay, you don't have rent, you don't have, bills or this and that, all these other responsibilities, and obviously, right? But I mean, like, you can maximize it too by getting a higher pay by working in California rather than some of the other states. So a lot of people have that luxury, but I was just wondering myself, curiously, like, what the other pay ranges were. And there's like some other states, it goes down like $7 federally, that's what they pay. It just gets wild, man. So I'm sitting over here, like at 20 something an hour in California, and I'm like, it's not all that bad. And to be honest, what prevents me from getting my own place is I have family and dog, and you couldn't just go and get a room, and you need like 3 times the rent just to start. Like, it's just insane situations that you just don't have. So, and I really don't want another apartment. I had an apartment for 10 years. I don't want another apartment. So, like I said in the previous video, but I'll say it again, I did buy an RV, and I did plan to live in the RV, but the RV died off on me. Unfortunately, I didn't do my due diligence, and I treated it more like a car, whereas an RV comes with so many more things, like the generator, there's just the water tank. There's so many things, and then it comes with multiple tires on top of 4, so it's like 8 tires or 6 tires, depending on your model, and how big, right? But mine had 6 tires, so it was just a horrible situation that landed on me that I wasn't prepared for, and that's because I didn't do my due diligence and ended up just basically soaking up all of my funds and putting myself in a wild situation, which really sucked. And that was after being evicted and going homeless. So it was like, what the hell do you do, man? You try to make lateral movements and succeed in life. Give yourself the best chance, give your family the best chance to, like, not be out in the cold, for instance. So I just had to keep switching directions. Ended up just getting another vehicle so that, it was spread out. We were all on just one vehicle. So it was just like, as the tide was breaking on me, I found ways to maneuver through it and survive. And that's kind of how I was looking at this homelessness situation. It's just like, here I am with my employee of the month, which means I'm the best caregiver in this company, it's not the biggest company. They're like 6 years old. It's rather big in California, I guess. But I think they're branching out nationwide. I'm not sure. It's, I'm ground level in this company, but it's decent. But still, like, that's just interesting. I'm the best, but here I am, like, rotten teeth, living on the freaking road. It's nuts. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. So, with that in mind. So yeah, with that in mind, it's just rather interesting to see, like, when you're homeless, and you don't really have many options, the world really opens up for you. You really start to see a lot more possibilities. Like when I was living in the apartment and it was comfortable and it was complacent, and I would just go home after whatever hour shifts I would do, 8 to 16, and just crash out on my bed, turn on TV, go to sleep, wake up, shower, go to work. Just this autonomous routine for 10 years. Like it just now it's like you don't see outside of that, but becoming homeless, I see everything now. Well, not everything, but much more perceptive of the world. And so like this change in the last 8 months to a year is like, I don't know. It's just been this whole last year, whatever, 8 months, like 2 years, it's been crazy. Both my fangs have broken. So my teeth are shit. My health is, I'm working on my health, but man, it's really interesting to see how much your mind shifts in possibilities when you go homeless. And I don't think people that are living in houses and they're in their situations understand that as much. It's like you're not really seeing the full scope of the world because you're so locked into your routine. You're so locked into the life you have built. You have your car payments, your house payments, your kids, daycares, food, craziness across the board, right? So it's like really interesting. And then now I'm exploding with ideas and I'm coming up with all these different things. Like I've got a team now. Like, so it's like I just feel like hitting the ground floor like this gave me a bigger, broader view of the world. And I was just sitting there like, not sinking. It wasn't bad enough. And I made more money then than I do now. Like, but then I was closer to $30. And it was like, way better, way more money. But the stress, the hassle, the locked into $2,600 a month. That was the starting point. $2,600 was just the rent. Then you have phone, family, dogs. My gosh. When I hit the $4,000 a month button, it was like, dude, like, and we're talking, I'm average, bro. Like that's what I'm making a month. So it's like I was so sick and tired of never having any money. And so I think a lot of people feel like that right now. It's like you're just locked into these situations. But what's the caveat? You go homeless? No. Not everybody can. And these laws that are coming down and changing things, I guarantee over the next year or two, they're going to figure out some way to get money from these homeless people. It's all about money, right? But, man, at the end of the day, I think there's so much people aren't really realizing when you're locked into like an apartment or a house and you're married and you have 2 kids. It's like you're not seeing a lot of the world. You're so locked into your tunnel vision life. And so that's kind of what this video is about. Other than, employee of the month, I don't need anyone to just pat me on the back. Like, it's just, I do my job, man. I go to work and I go to work to go to work. Like, I'm not on my phone. I do my job. Like, there's obviously downtime in everybody's job where you're going to be on your phone. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, when the job is there and I have to do the job, I'm not complacent or distracted with something else. I'm doing my job. I'm showing up early every day. Like, I'm never late. I've been at the company for 1 year and 3 months and I've never taken a day off. It's not that I don't get sick. The other day I was sick. I just go to work. Now, if I'm like sick or I'm going to get someone else, I'm contagious sick, that's different. I haven't been that. So, I've just been under the weather a little bit, put on a mask or whatever. You go to work, man. So that's like my personality. Like, I grind. I sit in the mud. I'm a knight. I keep going. I defend. I do what I can. Because at the end of the day, the mission is save lives. Like, that's what I've done for the last 15 years, a decade and a half, 13 years. Healthcare. That's all I've done was save lives. So that's the mission. That's what this channel is about. That's where that's where everything for life is for me is going. Like, everything I'm building now, the businesses I'm going to be opening, it's all going to be mental health and healing people and teaching people the correct way of really engaging others from how I saw it. From my expertise at the hospital. Like, people don't really realize the power of connection, but most of the people were at my hospital for that reason, the loss of connection. or if the connection was too strong. I don't know. That was rare. It did happen that way. But, human brain is funky. And, I got to talk a lot about psychosis and what I believe that really is, but that's another video. But, I would say 90 to 95% of the men that were at the psych hospital were there over a relationship. And it dawned to me how many men I met over the years just that wanted to unalive, that wanted to go the other way. That they were there just for their relationship. It wasn't, there's a lot of bad things that happen in life to everybody, but it's like those are things that do shape you to some degree, but they just become cornerstones that you collect and they become you, right? So the deeply traumatic things that really, really break you, like I just noticed with men, it was the loss of purpose and the loss of connection. I didn't really think men on the whole wanted to unalive. The way I saw it, most cases, there were some dudes that were just broken, their minds gone. But in most cases, men wanted to delete themselves because loss of place, loss of love, loss of connection. So like they weren't connected anymore. They lost their throne, or their family kicked them out, or public shame. Those are the things that men would unalive themselves over. Not really being depressed. At least in my mind. I'm not saying depression doesn't exist for men, because it does. But we'll have a long discussion about depression. We can talk about that as long as you want. But from my point of view, it's just like it was losing your place in the world that made you leave the world as a man. Whereas with women, and I say this all the time, women are more in the prey category. So a lot more prey type situations happen to them, as in they're more infringed upon than a man. I'm not saying men can't be infringed upon. In fact, in the world now, there's a escalating number of men that are being essayed. But it's shocking. People don't really realize these things. But at the end of the day, it's like, for a man, losing his purpose is paramount to losing his life. So, but anyways, being homeless sucks, but I feel like I have the best chance to change my life and to be not only like self-reliant, because you have to be, but like self-replicant, like I can replicate, not like I can multiply myself, but I can replicate a lot more in life. I can do a lot more. I have a lot more power with my resources because it's not being spent on rent and bullshit, right? I don't have any car payment. I have phone bill, storage bill, gas bill, food bill, and then like family. I gotta do that stuff still, but so I've lowered my costs all the way down. I've gotten rid of everything I could. I've sold off, because like the hardest part about it was I had a whole studio in my apartment. And I would love to edit that in here and show you the picture. I don't know, maybe I'll be able to do that, edit that into this part of the video. But I had a whole studio, 3 screens, a tablet, soundproofed walls, my wall with all my pictures, my Superman, Batman, all that stuff, right? All my little sayings. So I had this whole office built for content creation, and then I lost my apartment. Dumped $10,000+ into it, and then lost everything. So now I'm in the process of just selling off all of that stuff, or giving it away, whatever, right? Getting what I can out of that, and then switching to like more of a mobile situation, which is, when I'm building here, I have a table here, and I have, let's see, so yeah, I've got like my table here, and then that, and I have a visor thing I'm gonna put here, and then like I have this thing that's coming in from Amazon. Yes, I do smoke. Getting rid of that habit though. I'm gonna start picking up. I don't know, this content creator does like fume, so I'm gonna try fume. Just trying to get rid of like a lot of the bad habits. I don't drink anymore, so but like I'm still waiting to balance out my body and then really start getting physical again, because I'm just too many injuries, too much. I'm just too weak, and I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", 350. So it's like I want to go back down to 280 where I was when I was working. I was about 280, 290 when I was working at the hospital. So injuries and sedentary life and alcohol have made me, what, 70 plus pounds. I was already a big guy, but that's like the frame I like, you know. I don't like being, I don't want a six pack. That's just not me. But at the same time, I don't like being fat. So just get back to being where I was, where I'm comfortable, about 280 pounds. 6'3", 280, it's about where I like it. 290. I don't like being able to, like, I always love the fact when like a dude came up and tried to like literally suplex me in the hospital. Like that's my job. I'm walking the hallways, anybody can run up and engage me. You know, that was my job for 10 years. So when a guy ran up and tried to suplex me and he found out that I was like 300 pounds and I wasn't that easy to lift, and then I would dead weight counter and slam him, it was like, yeah, like it's a defense mechanism being as heavy as I am, because people think I'm about 240, 250 because of the way I look, right? Because I'm tall and long, a little bit of a gut, but you know, especially now. But then it's like you really couldn't tell. I was just, you know, was just tall and long, so you look like you could do it. But then when you went to engage me, I was a lot heavier, and that's just because I have a lot of muscle. I worked out, football, all that, right? Athletic. Played baseball 6 seasons. Played football 2 seasons. Lots of benching, lots of working out, so just this big bear build now that I have. But yeah, like when a dude tried to engage me, he found out the hard way, man. I'm gonna put your ass down on the wood. You ain't gonna like it. So thousands of fights, man. I remember so many fights. So many fights. So many guys tried to kill me. This is true. Go work in a psych hospital and you tell me how you made out. A lot of times, a lot of people would have someone like me cover it. Like, I was the first through the door. I was the first one. Like, I love fighting, you know. Like, I didn't know I liked it so much before I got there. But once I got there, just that moment when the dude's looking you in your eyes and he's like, I'm going to kill you. It's like, oh, can you? Come on. Show me. Show me. So, you know, people thought I was crazy. It's just like, I'm the first through the door. If they have a knife, if they have whatever, I'm the first one that's gonna, I'm gonna stop them. So no matter the cost. And it was fun, scary, but I'll get into that in a whole nother video. It was 17 minutes. Yeah. So, anyways, if you watch the whole thing, you're a trooper. And man, I mean, it's not so bad. It is, but the worst thing about it is in the morning when you have to take a shit. Like, that's the worst. Not having a toilet, man, dude. Oh, not having a toilet, that sucks, bro. But on that note, I'm gonna leave you guys there. Shaft Knight signing off. Hey, God bless. Take care of each other. Tell someone you love them, you know. Tell someone something good today. Random act of kindness. Peace. Take care.